Tonight, a tragic civil rights incident remembered by Troy's theater department.
Plus, students give back to the community. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the High Definition Digital Production Center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for September 13th, 2013. I'm Amanda Ford.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thanks for joining us this evening. The 12-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks was earlier this week, and people chose to commemorate the tragedy in different ways. Troy University is choosing to give back to the community in remembrance. Troy students will participate in the National Day of Service this Saturday. Any students who wish to take part should meet in the Smith Hall parking lot at 8 a.m. Saturday, but organizers say if you're serious about attending, you should probably get there a little earlier. There is only enough space for 150 students, and assignments will be given out on a first-come, first-served basis. All students will be transported to their work locations and transported back. Students have the opportunity to help various locations in Pike County, such as Noble Manor and the Boys and Girls Club.
Throughout the day.
Yeah, so we have 8 different projects set up throughout the city of Troy. Boys and Girls Club, Alternative Learning Center, Save a Life, the Head Start, Habitat for Humanity, the Salvation Army, and the Pioneer Museum, and the Noble Manor Nursing Home.
Once again, if you're interested in participating in Service Day, you will need to meet in the Smith Hall parking lot at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Troy's Malone Gallery of the Fine Arts is featuring an unusual installation that may take some viewers by surprise. Haley Greathouse has more.
Students walking into Troy's Malone Gallery of the Fine Arts may be shocked by what they see. Siren Song by artist Michael Arijo is the current installation in the Malone Gallery, and it is the first installation of its kind.
This is a video installation, and the topic is the sirens, which comes from the Odyssey. Basically, the artist is describing snippets of his family life. It's a very dark room with lots of exciting things going on with music, photography, and video, and computer-generated imagery. So it's a little different exhibit than we normally have.
Alan tells us a little about the 3-part layout of the exhibit.
We've had video, but not where it was the entire room. Usually it's little sections off, but this one is divided into 3 parts. So the entrance, you go in and you see this giant head kind of addressing the concept of the sirens, and that is a self-portrait of the artist, Michael. And then you go around that space, and then you have these projections on both sides of the wall. So that's, they're kind of digitalized. Oh, and there's water too, this reflection of water. So you do get that feeling of coming into a large space of water. You can hear the sounds, you can feel it around you. So it's pretty exciting.
Haley Greathouse, Troy TrojanVision News.
The installation will be in the gallery until September 19th.
This Sunday is the 15th anniversary of the 16th Street church bombing in Birmingham, and Troy University's theater department is participating in a nationwide commemoration of this significant moment in the civil rights movement. The theater department will present a production of the play Four Little Girls on Sunday in the Trojan Center Theater. The production is one of many being performed around the country.
It is part of a national movement or a national organization called Project One Voice. And Project One Voice was started about 3 years ago to help promote the African American theaters around the country. And now the Kennedy Center is involved, and they got other theaters involved. Actually, Felicia Rashad, the well-known actress, is directing the Kennedy Center production. So we're really proud. There's a group of Broadway performers that are doing it on Sunday as well. Wow. So it's just exciting. It's going to be broadcast on the internet all over the country. So we're very excited to be involved in such a big project.
Four Little Girls will be this Sunday at 5 in the Trojan Center Theater. Admission is free and the house is scheduled to open around 4:15.
It might be a month away, but the University Activities Council is getting ready for the Trojan football team's matchup against Georgia State by planning a road trip. The UAC is offering students a chance to hit the road to see the Trojans in action against the Panthers in Atlanta. The trip will cost $20 and any student is welcome to attend. The UAC feels this is a great way for students to show support for the school.
We take a trip every year to a football game that's away, and I think it really shows school spirit because a lot of people can't go to away games. And basically, we're just trying to get a group of probably like 50 because that's how much the bus holds, and it pays for the ticket, the bus ride, and gas. All you have to do is pay for food. So I think that's a really great price.
Register now for the trip in the UAC office located in Trojan Center, room 228. Students have until Wednesday, October 9th to register.
And now taking a look at news from around the state in Montgomery, and an Alabama Democrat says the Accountability Act has failed and is asking lawmakers to divert funding intended for tax credits to another educational program. House Minority Leader Craig Ford said Thursday he'd like to see the state recollect $40 million meant for tax credits instead to expand Alabama math and science and technology initiatives.
And an Anniston testimony is continuing in the case of a man accused of fatally shooting an Anniston police officer in 2011. Joshua Russell is charged with capital murder in the death of 27-year-old Justin Solahub.
In Birmingham, more than a dozen members of the Congressional Black Caucus visited Birmingham for the 50th anniversary of a church bombing that killed 4 black girls. Democratic Representative Terry Sewell of Birmingham is hosting a forum at 16th Street Baptist Church. And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the weekend got started early for Trojan football as they were on the road last night in Arkansas. Danielle Percival will have the game recap coming up in sports. Now, Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So, Danielle, the Trojans were on the road last night, and things didn't go as they probably hoped for.
Well, that's right, Judson. It was a tough trip out to Arkansas for the football team, but we have a full game recap coming up here in sports. Let's get into it. After an easy win in Week 2 to move the Trojans to 2-0, the football team put their undefeated record on the line against the top offensive team in the conference last night. The Trojans were looking to go 3-0, but it was the number 4 that kept them from reaching that goal. 4 turnovers in the game proved to be too costly as the Arkansas State Red Wolves won 41-34 Thursday night. Quarterback Corey Robinson finished the game 30 of 51 for 371 yards, but was picked off 3 times in the game.
No way you can overcome that much negativity in your offense. I'm not blaming anybody. I think Corey really got pressure once or twice when he threw him away, but tried to throw him away. It looked like, and it went right to him. But you know, we can't. I mean, he knows it. I know it. Everybody knows it. You can't do that and win a game.
However, it wasn't just turnovers that cost the Trojans.
Some of the penalties on third downs, we had big runs, and they was brought back for holding calls. So we just got to limit that in practice and get better from here.
Troy had over 600 yards of total offense, but gave up 539 yards to Arkansas State. One of the biggest problems for the Trojans defensively was giving up the deep ball.
Right now, I'm just frustrated. I feel like we should have won the game. I feel like we beat ourselves. So I feel like we just let one stay here instead of bringing it home with us, being 3-0.
With a few extra days to prepare for Mississippi State, one of the biggest challenges for the team this week will simply be refocusing.
You got to realize this part of the game, even though everybody hate losing, you just got to put it behind you and focus up on the next game. Take it a game at a time and just keep our heads in the game. Don't let this loss right here get us too down to where we can't overcome adversity in other games.
We got many more games left, and this was our first conference game, so we just got to keep our heads up and keep fighting.
In the game, Eric Thomas tied the Sun Belt Conference record for the most career touchdown receptions, grabbing his 22nd of his career. But though there were bright spots, there is still work to be done in order to improve.
A lot of things we can feel good about. These guys are playing hard. They just got to play smarter.
The Trojans now have the weekend off to prepare for their next opponent, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who they will face on Saturday, September 21st in Starkville, Mississippi. The Trojan volleyball team is back in tournament action this weekend, taking part in the Georgia Tech Courtyard Classic. The Trojans have scheduled up and are now playing some of the larger schools this season, and that includes today's opening match of the tournament against UConn. At last check, the Trojans won the first 2 sets against the Huskies before losing the third and are leading 2-1 overall. Then Saturday, Troy begins at 9 o'clock in the morning, taking on the host Yellow Jackets, and will then face St. John's in their final match of the tournament. And the Trojan soccer team will be wrapping up a 3-game in-state road trip tonight, taking on Jacksonville State at 7 p.m. Troy is looking to end its 2-game skid as they face the Gamecocks, who are 2-1 on the year. However, Troy has won the last 3 games in the series, with the last one coming in 2011. And on Sunday at 1, Troy returns to the friendly confines of the Troy Soccer Complex as they take on Murray State, who is undefeated this season. Troy fell to the Racers 1-0 last season. The cross-country team will be on the road this weekend for their second meet of the year, this time on the road. The Trojans will be competing in the Azalea City Classic in Mobile, which is being hosted by South Alabama. They will be going up against some of the same competition they've faced so far this season, including UAB, Alabama State, and a few Sun Belt teams that they will be competing against in the conference championship. Head coach Jeff Jenkins believes his team will be much improved from their first race when they take the course tomorrow morning.
I expect to see our runners perform much better over the distance and with the training that we've had and with their experience that they got from that first race. I don't expect us to finish behind the same people that we finished behind at our first race. We should be beating those girls and we should be beating those guys at South Alabama.
The men's and women's teams will be competing tomorrow morning in Mobile. The men's 8K begins at 7:30 a.m., while the women's 6K will begin at 8:15 a.m. So Amanda, Judson, while the football team has already played their game and is not in action, there's still plenty of Trojan sports this weekend. And also, if you want to stay up to date on everything Trojan sports, be sure to tune into Trojan Sports Now, which will be on Trojan Vision tonight at 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle.